Oh, it didn't ask me. Oh, hi.
We're recording. This is Joe. Oop,
And this is Vicky.
and
And we're
we're the two natural
Natural
ladies.
Ladies.
Okay.
Of course, this week is International Women's Week. Tuesday was International Women's Day. And of course, what a great opportunity to talk about some of the people in our lives that we either know personally or know out there.
Yeah.
Who have made a difference. And so, yeah, we thought we would start with that. And I actually wanted to start with my hat, not that my hat, but where I got my hat from. My almost daughter-in-law, Jackie, she found it in an op shop and said, "Oh, I think Joe would like that." So she bought it for me, and of course I love it. However, that's apart from that she's thinking about me, because my son didn't even think about that at all.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. However, she also really inspires me. She's during COVID, she became a yoga teacher. And she's amazing. She is a fabulous yoga teacher. And I'm really fussy about people who teach yoga and if they're good or not for me, and I just think she's amazing. So I mean, apart from everything else she was doing, to find the time and the courage to do that. And she's now teaching classes at a yoga studio. So yeah, I really admire and amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and as you were talking about your almost daughter-in-law, I mean, I have three daughters who inspire me at different times. So and our relationship is growing and developing over time. And I caught up with my eldest the other day, and all of a sudden, we're talking on a different level now. And she wants to borrow some of my books that our spiritual and personal development books. And
fabulous.
She's moved into that area. So yeah, that's pretty exciting and inspiring. And my other daughter, one of my other daughters, she's always been very determined. And she's really working her way very quickly up through ranks in her work. And yeah.
And she wrote a book.
She's written a book, yes. So she's always looking for more opportunities to just
jump into.
Grab life by the short and curlies. And
yes. Well, and I somebody who has inspired me for over 30 years is you. And you're everything that we've done together, and the things that you've done, like you just talked about, bringing up your three gorgeous girls and your son, and you've always been looking at how can I get the best out of things, and not willing to question yourself and go, okay, is this the best way to do things? And reevaluate when needed be, rather than no, I'm right, I've got all the answers. So yeah, and of course our partnership. I don't know if anybody else in my life that I think I could have had the partnership I have with you. So you are very inspiring.
Oh, thank you. Well, and as are you to me. I think it's mutual. And well, and when we first met, I was in awe of you and how powerful you were, and you were out there. And I wasn't at the time, and you really, it helped me drive myself to self-improvement as well. And now we play together.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah.
Great. And then, I mean, we've been talking about Jane Fonda, and it's interesting because when I was introduced to Jane Fonda, she was the exercise lady, and I knew she was an actress, and I'd seen her in some things, but that was the thing that was really in the 70s. She was, and I was like, she's the exercise lady kind of thing. However, I've just recently listened to something, because she's in her 70s, 80s. She's, and she made this statement about that she's in her third age, and rather than, you know, she said it's 60 plus, and I've just turned 60. Rather than just going, right, it's time to retire, she's like, okay, what's next? What's your next thing? What you know, what are you up to now? And she talked about, I have no control over how long I will live, but I have control over how deep I live. And I thought, that's brilliant. I love it. So, you know, she's gone from being the exercise lady, and she's much more than that when you get to know all the things she's done. She is, and her commitment in her third age is to make a difference to women and empower women. So,
well, and just, I mean, I know it's just a show, but her and Lily Tomlin in that,
love it.
I mean, how many women in that age group, you know, have even attempted that?
And all the things that they do, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, and they were such inspiring women in the show. So, you know, and turned, you know, that, you know, their divorces into, amazing lives.
Yes. Yeah, and didn't stop it again, just sitting there and watching TV or whatever, you know. They got out there and created amazing businesses and had fun doing it. And
there were times there. It reminded me of us.
Yes.
So, and what was that called? What was that show called?
I can't remember.
Oh, if anybody's interested, we'll try and look it up and put it in the comments.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is, I mean, my mum, who passed away 10 years ago now, which is unbelievable. You know, she keeps coming up for me in different ways. And so I actually knew that when I knew she was passing away. I thought, you know, it's actually in the future when I'll think back, or I want to ask her something, or I'll just want to acknowledge her for something, or, you know, that's I mean, but I still talk to her. And she, you know, she's still in my head and my mind, and, you know, I have, you know, little conversations with her. And my nana was, I mean, she was quite into natural therapies, you know, for back then. And well, one of the things I just thought was just funny, because Shane made a comment which was very much my nana, because I make those comments. So, you know, when my nana burped, or, you know, she'd go, ooh ah, ooh ah. And so he went, ooh ah, last night, and it was just so lovely to just think that my nana and her ways are present now with my husband, who never met her. You know.
Yes.
So just, and I do think back to my grandparents too, and, you know, how life must have been, and, you know, things that I just wasn't aware of back then, you know. So, you know, I think we're all surrounded by people that inspire us, whether we know it or not.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And even though, you know, we're talking particularly about women today, because that's the theme, we could certainly do just as much with talking about the men in our lives. There should be an International Men's Day as well, I think.
Maybe we'll create one.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay. We'll find a day and we'll just go, right, that's it, and create it. Yeah. No, it definitely. And you were going to mention Erin Brockovich.
I was, actually, because that's one, you know, when I'm asked to think about somebody inspiring, that's one the movie comes up, and obviously that was played by Julie, what's her name?
Roberts.
There you go. But Erin Brockovich, the story of her, and her that she was unstoppable in the face of, you know, people trying to shut her down. She was like, nope, off I go.
Well, it's that cold David and Goliath story, isn't it? Where you've got, you know, this, what seemed like an insignificant person dealing with these huge corporations, and she wouldn't take no for an answer, and and the amount of people that she must have inspired, including us, to just go, oh, well, if she can do it, we can do it, you know. and not allow the public voice even that may seem like the right way, or it's just it seems like the majority
At
are
the
agreeing
time.
with that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
we can say no, we don't agree with that. That's
Yeah.
we can see the wrongness of what's going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Or I mean, the integrity too. Like, you know,
yes,
integrity is about what's right for me and what's right for you. Your integrity is what's right for you. Mine is what's right for me. So it's not necessarily you know,
no,
judgment
a
for
blanket.
everybody.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, and you know, you and I, you know, our background with, you know, some of the education we've done with landmark education, you know, that's where I think we've both been on the same page about um, inquiring into things rather than, you know, just deciding one way or the other, inquiring, and you know, and then being unstoppable in what we feel is in integrity for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and there's so many people, women that, you know, that are listening to this video now, who we'd love to hear, men too. Actually, I was acknowledged. I was on a call the other day, and there was a man leading the call, and he was acknowledging all the women on the call as part of International Women's Day. So, yeah, please tell us who inspires you. Tell us what you've done that's inspiring, that you've inspired yourself. You know, you know, it's not easy. And so if you've actually achieved something, we'd like to acknowledge you for it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, please comment below, or yeah, share with us whatever it is that you'd like to say, either about others or about yourself. We would love to hear about it. And it is important to acknowledge yourself.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things I remember in our landmark in, you know, when we were assisting around there, you know, our little huddles, that'd be, oh, you know, what was that? What would you like to be acknowledged for? Or is that
Yes,
ready?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
And it's like, oh, that's different.
It is different. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
All
Well,
right.
looking forward to those comments.
Yes, yes. And have a wonderful day.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.